saucer of gentleman Dean Alejandro here to go ahead and do a quick follow-up. Surgery is 1 week away. In my most recent video, you saw that I basically had no idea whether I was going to keep an ovary, get rid of both, have a full hysterectomy or a partial. And with that, I really didn't even go into too much detail. I more so did an introduction. So wanted to hop on, do a follow-up as we're now a week away, and kind of go ahead and discuss a little bit on my pre-op appointment that I had this morning. So I'll go ahead and start with the pre-op appointment because it's very simple, very self-explanatory. Went ahead and went over the complications, of course, that could happen during the surgery, how to prepare, a couple days prior, 24 hours prior, the morning of, where to go. It is going to be in Denver, and a couple of things of what to do post-op. I am excited to say that majority of the recovery, pain-wise, will be with ibuprofen and Tylenol. So that is a huge relief as far as recovery, sobriety-wise, and that I will actually be allowed to be more active than I thought, because I was really consumed with the thought of post-op depression and being bedbound. So that was pretty good, no issues, other than I just found out that my surgery is going to be a little after 1 in the afternoon, and of course I have to, stop eating at midnight the night before. So I'm going to be very hangry. I am going to be posting videos and putting something all together. So that is just my pre-warning that I am going to be pretty grumpy, and I should probably apologize to all of the staff ahead of time. All right, so that's that with my pre-op appointment. And in my most recent video, I discussed how I was not sure, again, if I wanted to get a full, a partial, ovaries, or what. And I want to go ahead and discuss a little bit, because I did talk about how both of my doctors were contradicting each other. And now it gets a little more complex because I threw a little more support into the mix. I do have another doctor now, and of course a mental health provider. So I have put together this huge support system, kind of, because I didn't want everything to fall on my partner, who is my caretaker throughout all of this, of course, and really just trying to learn from trial and error with top surgery, because there is a reason why I have not posted too much about it. Maybe post-op I'll get more into that, but it was not a good experience, and it is having a lot of anxiety towards this. So last I discussed that I was not sure, and the reason for this is because I wanted to go ahead and get a full hysterectomy, get both ovaries removed, get everything pulled out. The reason for this is because I do have PCOS, as you know. I have cysts in my ovaries. I have had them rupture the past couple months, and of course I've been diagnosed with this for a very, very, very long time. So, of course, this is a huge factor as to why I wanted to go ahead and get everything removed. I do have history of ovarian cancer and other history, family history that, could basically hurt me more, I guess I'll go ahead and say. So those were reasons as to why I wanted to go ahead and get them out. Now, reasons why I wanted to keep an ovary, at least, is because if I get everything removed, I will have to be on hormones the rest of my life. I don't feel comfortable with that. I don't trust the government and a couple of other things, honestly, but the fact that tea is already a controlled substance, and that it's so difficult. So I've been going back and forth between this. Now, as we know and are told, testosterone, being on T, makes you more prone for ovarian cancer. And this is where I'm going to start getting into the contradictions, and I'm just going to kind of leave it at this one, because now is not the time or place. But we are told that, testosterone is linked to ovarian cancer, and the more that you're on it, of course, the higher risks. Now, my surgeon was going into detail about how recent studies have actually shown that there is no link to that. So I have gone back and forth with my doctor the past year, literally, with saying, oh, I want the full, oh, I want both ovaries removed, oh, I want to keep one, oh, I don't, and both of my doctors are great with giving me all of the information and, of course, letting me make my own individual decision because it's going to affect me personally, mentally, physically, and, for the rest of my life. So all this pressure between everyone and knowing that they support me, but also kind of wanting to push in a certain direction to kind of be told what to do because it would be easier, honestly. So I've been thinking about it and having a lot of anxiety the past 72 hours. And now that I am officially 1 week away from surgery, I think I have made the decision, and I'm hoping that it's the right decision. I'm going with my gut, my intuition. Another big thing, I don't want to get too much into contradicting and stuff, is that, we are told that once we start taking testosterone, it's essentially, and this is based off of different doctors because every doctor will say something different. When I say my doctor, I could be meaning my hormone doctor right now. I could also be meaning my doctor when I first started taking testosterone. It's a couple of different things. I'm not really going to specify, honestly, because every doctor is going to say something different. Their education is different. Trans healthcare is different. Everyone's body chemistry is different. Everyone's reaction is different. So how are we even supposed to know? So yeah, so when I started taking hormones, I basically had to have the decision talk with my family to decide if I wanted to have kids, and what that looked like. Knowing that I have PCOS and stuff, I know that it is a little more difficult. And when I started T, I made the decision that, hey, because I'm going to do this is essentially going to wreck my ovaries and fertility and yada, yada, yada. So I decided, fuck it, what's more important, right? Made the decision from there. Now let's fast forward a couple of years to where I'm like, yeah, let's totally get everything removed. And they're like, well, what about biological kids? And I'm like, what do you mean? And based off my last screening, everything looked okay. And then the tests, I guess now apparently they have no linkage because of new studies. And now I'm just like, you completely threw a huge wrench in my plan. Now I have no idea what I'm going to do. And as you saw from my previous videos, there is a lot of concerns and anxiety. So I just threw a lot at you, and I'm sorry, but it's been a lot. I guess I'll go ahead and follow up to say that my surgeon is, concerned about the physical trauma due to the amount of atrophy that I have had, and I do have. So they have prescribed me this little cream. You probably saw it on my Instagram post. I really didn't. Verbiage is hard with this because everyone explains things a little different. So I've kind of just been putting stuff out there like I do with all my stuff. And I'm like, here, this is my life. Enjoy or laugh at my misery. Anyways, if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. I will keep you all up to date. Please subscribe and press that bell for alerts, and I'll see you next time.